The winter morning in downtown Chicago was sharp and unforgiving, the kind that cut through coats and made people walk faster with their heads down. Outside the glass-fronted headquarters of one of the biggest companies in the city, employees hurried past security doors, coffee in hand, minds already buried in meetings and deadlines. Among them stood a little girl, no more than 6 years old. Her jacket was too thin, sleeves pulled over her hands. A pink backpack, old and slightly torn, hung crookedly from one shoulder. She watched every adult walk by, her eyes wide but unsure. She had tried talking to others before, but no one had stopped long enough to listen. Then the black sedan arrived. The CEO stepped out, flanked by assistants, his phone pressed to his ear as he spoke about profit margins and investor calls. He was known for being sharp, disciplined, impossible to distract. People moved out of his way without being asked. The little girl hesitated, fear tightening her chest. But the memory of her mother not waking up pushed her forward. She stepped into his path. One of the assistants reached out to stop her, but before he could speak, the girl whispered, barely loud enough to hear. "Sir, my mom isn't waking up." The CEO stopped mid-step. Something in her voice, thin, raw, and trembling, cut through the noise of the city and the business call in his ear. He lowered his phone slowly and looked down. Her eyes were red, not from crying loudly, but from trying not to. "Where's your mother?" he asked, his tone softer than anyone around him had ever heard. The girl swallowed. "In our car. She was really tired last night. I tried to wake her up, but she won't open her eyes." The assistants exchanged uneasy glances. This wasn't in the schedule. This wasn't their problem, until the CEO raised a hand, signaling everyone to step back. "What's your name?" he asked, kneeling so they were eye to eye. "Emily," she whispered. "And your mom?" "Sarah." Her fingers trembled as she pointed toward the far end of the underground parking entrance. "We stayed there because it's warmer. We don't have our apartment anymore." That sentence landed heavier than any financial report he had read that year. "How long has she been asleep?" he asked. "I don't know," Emily said, her lip quivering. "I kept shaking her. I thought maybe if I found help." She didn't finish the sentence, but she didn't need to. The CEO stood up and took off his expensive wool coat, wrapping it gently around her small shoulders. Her eyes widened in surprise. "You did the right thing," he said calmly. "You were very brave." Then he looked at his assistants. "Cancel my meetings," he said. "All of them." Before anyone could protest, he turned back to Emily. His voice was steady, but his eyes were focused, urgent. "Take me to her," he said. As they walked toward the parking structure, the city skyline towering them, the CEO felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. For years, he had chased numbers, success, distance from anything that felt personal. But now, following a frightened child through the cold concrete halls, he knew one thing clearly. Whatever waited in that car mattered more than any deal ever would.